Class, take your seats. You're all seniors here now in the subject of believing in the Los Angeles Clippers, correct? And by now, you probably realize it's a fool's game. And yet, me, the teacher of this class, the admin, cannot stop himself from doing it. I feel like I am... First of all, can we just discuss how ridiculous it is? This is year 4 of this Clippers team. It literally doesn't feel like it's been more than a year since we woke up to that news that PG and Kawhi were Clippers. Of course, the pandemic really did cost us. Like, it was basically a time warp, so that's why it feels that way. But still, though, that's one thing. It also doesn't feel that way because, think about it, going into this 4th year, we've barely seen them have a shot at it. As a matter of fact, the only real shot the Clippers have had thus far was the bubble. And while I probably respect the bubble more than most, I could understand if you looked at that and went, well, those were some pretty extenuating circumstances. But still, disappointing nonetheless. We watched that happen live on Twitch. I still got the footage of us watching them collapse against the Nuggets. It was a collapse of epic proportions. But yeah, that was the only chance they got at it. After that, you go into the 2021 season. Kawhi, gosh, wow, it's been that long, huh? That's where Kawhi tears his ACL in the playoffs. And I'm not just gonna give them the Bucks championship, but I do feel like if they would have been healthy, they were probably my favorites at that point to win. At the point that they made it, how far they had made it with that squad healthy, I felt like they could have definitely taken the Suns with Kawhi Leonard. They got close with just PG. It's fair to assume they would have done it with Kawhi. And then it would have been an epic matchup with the Bucks. Again, will not give them Milwaukee championship out of respect, but I could definitely see a world where the Clippers would have been 2021 champions. And then Kawhi doesn't play at all last year. We had some last minute thoughts about him possibly coming back for the playoffs, but it never really seemed realistic. Even if he had have done it, a run probably was not going to happen from the 8th or 7th seed. And so here we are, and they have had one legitimate chance at it. Even so, this feels like, and I know it's not their last chance because PG and Kawhi have more basketball left and they're signed for it, but as a matter of fact, while I'm talking, I will want to look that up and confirm it. But it does feel kind of like the last time anyone's going to believe in the squad, because it is absolutely the best squad that they have had and are probably going to have. Seriously, the roster versatility here is ridiculous. It wasn't even under the radar, because when they made the moves last year to acquire Norman Powell and Robert Covington, I think everyone acknowledged that for the Clippers, these were just beyond beautiful moves. And that was without Kawhi Leonard being there. With him there, and then adding John Wall as well, which I'll get to, they have so many options to give teams headaches. They are pretty much running one big, I'm gonna say, because Zubac is their guy. After him, if I saw that correctly, it looks like Moses Brown is next up on the depth chart. Let me just double check that too. Yeah, gosh, they have 2 centers by name on the roster. It's Zubac and it's Moses Brown, and so that is kind of concerning. I would like if they had a backup big, and even serviceable one, which DeMarcus Cousins, anybody? Like, okay, yeah, that's a different conversation. But there's that, and they are hopefully going to be able to get enough big minutes from Zubac, like when they need it, and be able to offset that with the headaches that they are going to be able to cause with the other lineups. Because when you just mix in, obviously you got PG and Kawhi, Rocco, Covington, and then your choice of Reggie Jackson, John Wall, and then obviously basketball, a lot of defense is not just being played one-on-one, especially when you have a lot of guys that can fly around and can make rotations and such. Boy, they are going to be able to light people up on the offensive end. They're going to be able to give PG and Kawhi in a lot of lineups as much space as they need. And again, we've seen PG cook without Kawhi Leonard's it's weird using the term gravity with Kawhi, but he's another star player that you have to be cognizant of on the floor, so I'll use it. Yeah, we've seen PG, for the time that he was healthy, cook without that. You add Kawhi and then you add some of these space lineups. Oh, it's gonna be nightmares for somebody. It's gonna be nightmares for somebody. They're probably, I foresee them probably forcing a lot of teams' hands in terms of making them go small maybe when they don't want to, because everybody doesn't have the lineups to get away with that at a high level, but the Clippers do. Oh yeah, by the way, Nicholas Batum, that's another name that they got back. Wasn't 100% sure that was gonna happen, but they do. And so when they want to go small, Batum has proven he can fill in as a 5 for certain minutes. And so they can even go with that if you know, another lineup is too small, right? If some of the names I threw out there was too small, Batum can come in and fill in with that. Retain, not even retain, these guys are just still here, like with Kennard and Terrence Mann, Marcus Morris. This is going to be insane. John Wall, right? Let's talk about John. No clue what he brings to a basketball court right now, because the last time we saw him was for that week or two he got to play with a very disgruntled James Harden. I overreacted and made a video because he was still fast. I don't even know if it was such an overreaction. It was really just pointing out that he was fast and could still do stuff. It's kind of the goal of it. I guess in that video I probably underrated how much James Harden hated being in Houston. But I felt like, oh well, this could change things quite a bit because Wall is still serviceable. He can still collapse a defense. Now at that time it probably would have been too much of a tall ask to make that change the waves in Houston and make Harden want to stay there. However, on the Clippers, that's all he has to do. He doesn't have to be John Wall of old. He doesn't have to be good enough that a star wants to stay. He just has to be fast enough to collapse the defense and create some havoc. Once again, if you collapse the defense against some of these lineups the Clippers are going to be able to run, it is going to be a sad day. So if he's still fast enough to do that, to me, that is like his one function. Create some rim pressure. We know he's a known passer. That's something that John Wall can do. I'm sure he can still do it. That's literally all they need out of him. They just need basic, very, very basic John Wall stuff that I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he still has. And then they just need him not to be terrible on defense. Now, that part, since it's been so long since he played and we know the injuries that he's had, he might not be the same there. But you're on this Clippers roster. Again, defense not one-on-one. I think they're going to be able to cover for it, especially because I don't know if he's going to just be a straight-up cone right now. That's what's going to take time to tell. So yeah, roster versatility, great pickup with John Wall. I think the obvious question after all this is, what's Kawhi Leonard like? He is coming back from an ACL injury. He is habitually injured throughout his career and missing time. So they have the same, not necessarily the same problems as Lakers, because Lakers got more problems than that. But PG and Kawhi also cannot be out here just playing 50 something games. The roster is good enough that they can probably still, unlike the Lakers, I think the Clippers can still be a good regular season team if one of them is missing games. I don't want to see both of them missing games, which they've shown they can be good without both of them too, but one of them missing games should be good enough for them to get in, because I'm assuming Kawhi is going to load manage a bit. Coming back from an ACL, not likely to want to run him at full speed. So there's going to be games without him, but this roster I think is proven. Again, they were almost in the playoffs last year and PG missed most of the year and Kawhi was out all of the year. So I think this roster has earned enough leeway to say they'll probably be able to overcome that. My question isn't so much how many games they'll be missing, it's just what is Kawhi Leonard going to be like after a torn ACL. That is his most serious injury. We had that quad before that, but the ACL is something different. Is he going to be the same defender? So obviously if Kawhi doesn't, bringing it on both sides of the floor like he used to, then it's not Kawhi as we knew him. So that's another thing we're just gonna kind of have to wait and see. But players seem to have been coming back from ACLs and such better than not necessarily a better player than they used to, but I'm saying if you look at how players used to return from ACLs and you just look throughout the 2010s, it doesn't seem quite as devastating as it once was. I guess the biggest concern would probably be re-injury. And so yeah, this is just all stuff that we don't know. We will have to see throughout the season. We can't predict it. He might have a totally healthy season. That would be very nice. And assuming he did, if Kawhi was still Kawhi or even like 90% of himself and PG just comes in and does what he did in his healthy days last year, and the roster works out how I have it in my head, And it's hell, they're being coached by Tyronn Lue, bro. We've seen Tyronn Lue do more with less, and he's gotten his respect as a coach, so that's cool. If this works out how I think it can work out, this Clippers here we go, beginning of the video, right? Believing in the Clippers is a fool's game, but potential wise, this Clippers team could easily make the finals. The only reason I would say that they're not my favorite is because, well, the Clippers curse. Just something always happens to this team. Something bad is always right around the corner for the Clippers. And then, yeah, the health of the guys coming back. That's the two questions you have. But if nothing stupid happens, and they just finally catch a stroke of good luck, I could very easily see the Clippers in the finals, because a title is past due for this squad by now. It's again 2021. Could have very well have seen that, and I am excited to see this team, man. I'm like a gambler, but this is the last time I will put much faith in this team, though. If it's another injury thing, or if they just collapse like they did in 2020, then the above happened, then I would just accept that I was wrong when this team got together. Because when this Clippers team got together, you go watch the Barbershop Talk, it's still there from many years ago. We were all high on it, thought they were a better team than the Lakers at that point, had them as the favorite that whole year, and here we are in 2022, giving it one more go. I'm giving it one more go. But are you giving it one more go? Let me know in the comment section what you think about the Clippers. What is their potential? Do you think the Clippers curse is going to be snapped? Will they finally catch a break? The right type of break this time? Leave that in the comment section. Hit the like button, sub, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications every time a new video drops. Appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you on the next one.